Hello everyone and welcome to episode 128 of Two Left Thumbs, your weekly gaming podcast that is looking for a drink stronger than family. My name is Def Puppiez and joining me this week, the Nightman himself, is Mr Nightlife. How you doing, man?
Good, mate. How you going? Thanks for having me.
Good. No, thanks for coming along. I've been meaning to catch you for a hot minute. It's good to finally dragged you on here somehow.
The stresses of life being busy, eh, mate? We're all busy these days.
Oh, mate, yeah, it's nuts, right? Like you're working long shifts, I'm working long shifts. It's one of the things. Hey, just like trying to figure out where to fit all this kind of shit in. It gets challenging. Yeah. So those who don't know you, or may know you, I don't know, whoever's listening, who are you? What do you do, or what are you known for?
What am I known for? So I've been creating content for, I feel like it's getting close to 10 years, but I don't think it is 10 years yet. I'm going off how long I've been married. It's probably it's about 7 or 8 years, something like that. You know, like most people, started out just streaming direct from the Xbox to Twitch back then. No webcam, no nothing, didn't know what I was doing. And yeah, went from there. So what did I do? I moved to Beam after that, the good old Beam days. Beam went to Mixer, and then we all know what happened with Mixer. So
Mixer went to shit.
After that, floated around a few different platforms, and I think I'm kind of landed over in YouTube for now. So I'm into a lot of multiplayer type games. Of late, I've noticed I can't really get stuck into single player as much. I can't seem to finish it. Like I even bought the Mass Effect trilogy, and I've played maybe a couple of hours of it. I don't know. I'm more so, you know, let's jump in and play something together kind of guy now. So like I was just playing State of Decay 2 tonight with a mate of mine. So I'm having a blast with it, diving back into that again, doing a fresh playthrough of that. Grounded, we've been doing a fresh playthrough of that. Dark Alliance, they're the kind of my top games I've been playing. Over in June.
Multiplayer. You've really been into the multiplayer lately.
Yeah, multiplayer stuff.
I've had an experience with Mass Effect. I've been playing it myself. I finished the first one. I did the same thing. I bought the trilogy. I've never played it before, so I was like, you know, there's a brilliant chance for me to try it. Bought the trilogy, played through the first one, and I've been trying to play the second one for about a week, but I'm having nothing but fucking issues trying to get it started. Like the first time I went to play it, it wouldn't import my character, and the game kept crashing. I'm like, okay, this is annoying. I spent like an hour trying to fix it, and I couldn't. Like, I'd go in, you go to start number 2, import your character over, and it just gets stuck at a loading screen, and it just stay there. I was like for half an hour.
On Xbox, or is this PC?
This on PC, so it's probably something on my end. And then I said, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll just start a new character, whatever. Same thing happened. I'm like, well, I guess this isn't working tonight. And then so I finally got it fixed.
That's not the Mass Effect experience that you want. What do you think of the first one?
I enjoyed it, man. Like I played the first 10 minutes of the first mission of the first one and hated it when it first came out. I was like, this is crap. Why am I playing this? But I stuck it out this time. And I mean, it was like 10 years ago, whatever it was. Like, I'm a totally different person, totally different gamer to what I was back then as well. Like, I used to play a lot of first-person shooters, a lot of multiplayer stuff. Now, I'm more focused on like single players and RPGs and stuff like that. So figured it was a good chance to give it another shot, and I really enjoyed it, man. Like, I mean, it shows its age for sure. Like you can feel it didn't age terribly well, but the writing and the character development and like all the choices and the RPG systems within it were actually pretty good. So the base of like that, you can see why back then people loved this game so much, and why you know they're in turn excited for the second one. And going through the very short stint I've played on the second one, you can see some pretty marked improvements from the first one. So I'm really excited.
As soon as you jump into that second one, the gameplay alone improves. Like you're right. Like when you jump back into that first one, the gameplay definitely feels outdated. It's just the story that helps drag it along, and then you finally get into the second and third one, and then the gameplay is starting to feel a little bit more current.
it's definitely more fluid, right? Because I
Yeah,
just
definitely.
remember like saying this is like going through the first one, like this is so fucking janky. Like why are these systems the way they are? Why is like the aim was really weird and just everything was just kind of, it was there, but it was just wasn't quite put together well enough. But the second one seems so far to have done that a lot better, which is kind of nice. It's a lot prettier too.
But you can't get stuck into your second one, so you just still no fix for that yet, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, well, I've got it going. So I've started it, and then
Okay.
last night I went to play it, and it was doing some weird shit. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to tweak some settings on my graphics card because I was like I was in a conversation and it went to the conversation. It was just two floating sets of hair having a conversation instead of the bodies, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. Okay. And like go through it, and then like it went to another shot and it was all fucked up. I'm like, okay, something's definitely wrong here with my
something's going on.
yeah, and it's not an issue I found anywhere else. It's probably something on my end I just have to look into. Yeah, again, life being busy, you gotta kind of have the time to like do that, which is one of the downfalls of PC gaming. I've got to fix things occasionally when they break, which is like
Well, what else have you been playing aside from that at the moment?
I touched on a little bit of Sea of Thieves, the new
Yep.
Tall Tales. Have you got into that yet?
I did. I personally think Sea of Thieves is probably one of the best games Game Pass has to offer visually. Like every time I play it, I like this is just the best visually looking game. I
It
played it
is.
on PC. I played it on PC, so I haven't got the top end of all graphics card. I'm running a 1080, but even on that, it looks great on PC. But recently, I've been playing it on the Series X, and it just looks fantastic. For me, it's probably I, I enjoy it. It's a little bit for me, a little bit too PVE for me.
Yeah.
It's not something I can play every day. I can definitely kind of. I have been playing it. I've played it maybe once a week or once a fortnight. I jump on with the guys and come back around with it, and that's all right. But I don't know. I like a little bit more PvP action sometimes.
Yeah, well,
And I
they did
think
have like an arenas thing where like it was solely PvP, like going to
yeah,
this PvP arena, and it was an interesting concept. They just never followed through with it, and I found out the other night they've stopped development on it. It's just going to sit
oh, have they
there
really?
as it is. Yeah, they're not focusing on that anymore because obviously they're getting a lot more people with the PVE stuff. Because you can, if you want to, you can PvP within that as well. But a lot of people choose not to. They just want to kind of explore and kind of kick about and have a bit of fun.
The latest
But
update's
yeah,
fantastic. Like they did fantastic with the Pirates of the Caribbean side of things. It was just again, it's just a personal opinion. It was just a bit slow for me, but it's just me. But I can't. That's just me. I think that it was great. It was still great going through it. It was. I haven't done like a Pirate's Tale type story part of Sea of Thieves like that before. So
yeah.
once I started, I was kind of warned from people. No, this is more like really. This is really focused on story. You kind of. It's like you're watching a movie in a way, but you're in it, and you're just kind of going along and
Yeah, exactly.
following the
Like
episode.
I'd played some of
Mm.
the Tour Tales previous to this, as they'd kind of come out, and they were a lot more like puzzle and exploration focused, which was fine, but like it was like mapping out stars and stuff, which got a bit confusing and weird, especially if you weren't like a veteran. Because like I'm the same as you, I kind of dip in and out of the game. It's one of those games I like that it's on Game Pass because I'm well, you know, I'll jump on with the guys and just chill out and play Sea of Thieves or whatever.
Yeah.
Do a tall tale, and some of the puzzles were a bit wonky, and they weren't like to get the gear from them. You'd have to run them 2 or 3 times to get everything. Whereas with the new ones, it's you can basically do it in one run. So like if you go through and get all the collectibles as you go, you get all the collectibles. I think there's like one you've got to do it twice.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I mean, the puzzles are really cool. As they mix up the combat a little bit. You do like some underwater combat stuff, which is really fun. Lots of parkour, which is always kind of part of the core experience with the Tall Tales as well. There's always a bit of that in there. But
Did
yeah,
you buy the dog?
not
I
yet,
still went and
no.
bought the dog. Yeah,
You
I
went and
still
bought the dog?
even though I only play that. I got my sucker for this kind of stuff. Even though I hardly play the damn game, I still went and bought the dog, and I bought the costume sets and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
couldn't justify buying the ship though. I drew the limit at $30. I wasn't going to go spend another 35
How
or
much was
$36.
how much
I think
how was how much was the
the
dog? I haven't even
the
looked at it.
dog was about the cheapest way to do it was probably about $8. I think it is $8
Oh
Australian
yeah,
dollars.
that's a bad. That's
And
okay.
I think the costume set was 15. But yeah, they wanted like $35 for the ship, and I was like, I can't justify that. It's too
Yeah,
much.
that's fair. Like, I mean, they've got like seasons and stuff in there now. Where like it's like a battle pass thing. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
It's
Like,
pretty, it's pretty good carrying that dog around and he just chuck him on the ship and he just chills with you and follows you. So
yeah, I've got a mate who's got a cat, and all I want to do it is put it in the cannon and fire it. And every time I pick it up, he like puts the cat away, so it just like disappears. So I'm like, dude, what the hell? It's like, you're not putting it in the cannon, man. You're not doing it. I'm like, but please, I just want to fire a cat out of a cannon.
But everyone must be really enjoying it. I seen on Twitter, it's what, top selling game on Steam 2 weeks in a row now.
Oh, is it? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, again, the content that just came out for it has been incredible. Like, I think they've been doing like monthly updates for like the last 12 months, right? And I like I said, I dabbled once in a while when there's like something interesting, and I went back after probably 3 or 4 months, and like the amount of stuff that's there that kind of pops up, so holy shit, this is kind of overwhelming now. Like, so where the fuck do you start? And I'm glad I had friends that have been playing regularly to kind of like, all right, you need to go do this, and this is what this is for, because it was like, holy shit, there's a lot here to do, and I don't know where to start, because it's kind of like this whole menu changes and things have moved, and I'm like, okay. So you need to spend a bit of time if you're a newer player, just kind of soaking it all in and figuring out going through everything. Yeah.
Nah, for those that love PvE, definitely there's way more content now than at launch. There's definitely plenty to do now.
Oh yeah, 100%. So why the replay in State of Decay 2?
What was it that sparked that? I think it was something that popped up on Twitter to do with State of Decay. And I've just been enjoying revisiting some of the other Game Pass games. It's content I'm mainly focusing on for my channel at the moment. Anyway, trying to get the YouTube algorithm to love me, so to speak. As you probably know, you can't really split the focus much with YouTube. It just doesn't like you. Like, you can't go, probably you can't go play like survival games, for instance, and then go do, I don't know, Just Dance. It's just YouTube will hate you. So I'm trying to stick to the Game Pass format, and just taking the opportunity. So I think it was so that's what it was. It was they're doing bonus Microsoft reward points. That's what it is. So you can do a whole bunch. You know how how with Game Pass you got the different quests you can do for your points.
Yeah.
So there's about 1,500 points you can earn just by playing the game, essentially. Because my mod who I play with, he hasn't paid for Game Pass in a year. He said he just he jumps on every day and does all the different rewards. A lot of it's to do with the puzzles, or the quizzes or surveys they get you to do, and you get all the points. And over the 3 months, he just accumulates enough points and then buys a 3-month Game Pass code with the points he's earned.
That's all right. So, I've heard similar scams going on. I haven't had the I keep forgetting. Like, I know it's there, and it's always there. I always forget to do it, and it's terrible.
Yeah, so I've got enough to buy a 1 month. I've started trying to do it more often, but I think I've got about 15,000 points, and that's enough for, I think, a 1 month or something. I think so. I'm trying to save for like a 3 month or something like that. But yeah, you can get heaps of stuff with it. You can get gear. I think you can even get. Don't quote me on this, but I think you can even get like Coles and Woolies and stuff like that too. There's a whole bunch of different rewards.
There's a few like food vouchers and stuff like that. Coles Myer.
And it doesn't take long to do.
Well. Yeah.
It does. It's just it's probably 10 minutes of a day to quickly just go through and do all the surveys, and a lot of the points you earn just by playing Game Pass games. Like, I think one's for like just play 4 games, and then boom, you've got yourself XYZ amount of points. So. Now that I've been playing a lot more Game Pass games, I'm starting to rack up the points now. But that's what got me back into State of Decay 2. And that's looking really good on the Series X as well. They've really polished that game up a lot over the years since I last played it.
I hated State of Decay 2. I
didn't like it.
No, man, not at all. I played it like the first time with my wife and another mate, and it was so fucking broken. Like, I kept like I was playing on Scorpio. I kept like, it was really jittery. My character was like constantly getting stuck in walls. Then I start teleporting everywhere. This is fucking just broken. I
remember that.
And
I do remember that.
I couldn't stand it. And like those kinds of games, like it's weird because I really like Minecraft, but other survival games piss me the fuck off. I'm just like, nah, can't do it. I just like, and I think it's more the community management stuff too. So it goes into like that Sims management stuff. I'm like, I'm bothered. Like, if I want a zombie game, I'm there to murder zombies or get murdered by zombies, which is more often the case. And it could have been rinse and repeat for me. I was like, it's not for me.
Yeah, now that it's definitely not. Yeah, there's a bit more management involved in it. Like even tonight, like there's always something to do. Like someone else wants your help, and you go over there and help them, and your character's almost dead, but no, this person over here wants your help still, and no, but
I don't need your help.
Well, they got. So does that mean you won't touch number 3 when it comes out?
Yeah, look, I say probably not, but there's a pretty solid chance I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
So my wife loves ZK. She's like, the second I showed her the trailer for 3, she was losing her shit. She's like, yes, give it to me. When's it out? I'm like, maybe 3 years from now. She's like, why are you telling me this now? I'm like, I was just telling you because you wanted to know. So she'll be playing it. No doubt I'll get dragged into playing it with her for a while to check it out. See what happens, hopefully. I mean, like you said, this seems like they've polished it up a bit and done a bit of work to it, so it's a little more stable. Maybe like the trailer looked really cool, but it was the CGI trailer, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but the whole
CGI. I never rely on CGI trailers. I always wait for gameplay.
Idea. It's really hard though, because they look so good. He's like, this is cool, and he's like, you gotta like, no, the game will not look like this. The game will not look like this. Don't get your hopes up. But if they're going with the whole zombie animal theme, I think that'll be really fun to play with as well. Like, I can imagine you get some big ass like zombie bears and stuff. That'd be pretty crazy.
The only thing I hope they fixed is I still hate the tether system. That's still in there. It always drives me nuts. I'm sure we can do without tether systems.
That's where you like keep teleporting close to your teammates. If they further away.
Yeah, too far away. Yeah.
No, I didn't like that either.
I hope they ditch that. On the survival stuff, have you ever tried The Forest? That's on Steam.
No, I haven't. I've watched people play it.
There's a second one of that one coming out too. That's
really? Yeah, that'll be sick. Yeah, I remember watching quite a few people play. It's kind of that's the one where you gotta like find your way out, right?
That's got a few jump scares in it.
Yeah, it's more of a horror themed thing. Yeah, I've seen people play it. It hasn't entirely piqued my interest yet. But yeah, it looked interesting. I can see why people were definitely playing it. Yeah, so when's the second one out?
I don't think they've got a date for that one either. I think that's only had a CGI trailer release, no gameplay yet on that one either. I've never actually finished a story in the first one. I've played it off and on over the years. It's definitely got a great AI system. And I've definitely had a few jump scares in that one. One. There's just too many games, so I just can't play them all.
And E3 killed me. I'm like, well, when am I have time for this? Like, I'm not even worried about my wallet. I'm just worried about my schedule. I'm like, there's all these games now. I'm like, what the fuck? When?
Because it's funny. I obviously do some work with Game Pass. I don't have to. There's a lot of Aussie content creators that work with the Xbox ANZ team and try and promote the Game Pass servers and stuff like that. And they provide you regular emails and all that kind of stuff with all the latest games. I got sent another email today with the latest list of games. I'm like, and I'm grateful and I'm excited. But it's like, more games to try and fit into my schedule. Am I going to fit all these?
Where do these go on my hard drive? It's like,
well, there's that too.
Yeah, like we need. I mean, the new Series X have the expandable hard drive yet?
Yeah, I actually don't know, but my 1 terabyte.
Have like an insert one. Yeah, it's like they have like the terabyte base, and then you can buy 1 terabyte inserts that like you can remove them, and they're hooked up to like the SSD style, like faster hard drive. I'm so smart. I'm good with technical stuff, I promise. But we're gonna need more than an extra terabyte. Microsoft, you're gonna need to come out with like 2-3 terabyte ones for us. 10 terabytes would be great.
They probably will, because I remember buying a 2 terabyte console. Which one was that one? Was that the 1X? Oh no, they bought out. I swear they bought out a 2 terabyte edition at some point.
I remember they bought out a 1 terabyte when the Xbox One. It was a 1 terabyte. They had like, I think the first one out was like the Call of Duty themed one. That might have been it. It was like Modern Warfare, or not Modern Warfare. It was Infinite Warfare or something.
I could have sworn they brought out did the one. Have they ever had a 2 terabyte? I thought it was the One
I
X.
don't remember one
I swear
being a thing.
It doesn't matter. Even if you get a 2 terabyte, that's like Call of Duty alone will take up 10% of that.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's like an extra 2 games at the moment. Like I'm having the same trouble at the moment with my PC. I'm like, I need to get more. I've only got a 2 terabyte on my PC at the moment, which is tiny.
Yeah.
But I need more hard drive. I'm constantly like, all right, I want to download this new game, and I'm like, okay, which one do I delete? Like, where am I?
How sad is it though?
Yeah.
How sad is it that we say that 2 terabytes is tiny?
I know, right, man. I remember when that wasn't even heard of, right? You look into like 356 megabytes. He's like, that's huge, you know? I'd like fit so much music on this. That's like a lifetime's worth of music, and now it's like a song.
Because I'm the same as you. I've got 2 terabytes in the PC, and I'm always scratching for room to find something to store videos or a game or something on there. It just fills up so quick.
They need to really get on top of this cloud thing, so we can just like do the whole small install file, and then like the rest is done through cloud streaming or whatever. That would be. I need that on PC like yesterday, please.
Well, hopefully that'll come to Australia soon for the Xbox side of things. So that might help.
Yeah, well, they're talking.
I've tried the Android. I tried the Android version of cloud, and I had the Android and it was good. But they haven't released the Apple one yet for Australia.
Oh, they haven't done the Apple one for Australia. I thought they had already.
No, because I got access to the beta, and it was great for Android. Yeah. No issues. But yeah, I think they've released it for did you see that they announced something to do with Apple? I think it's for the States. It's not an app. I don't think there's an app. It's done through a browser.
Oh yeah, right. I think because I think there's issues. The reason they're having issues is because of the Apple App Store, because they have some requirements that the service doesn't quite meet because of the way it is, which is fine. I really need to get like one of those. I don't think they have them for Android yet. The controller things that you can get that plug on the side. I can't remember. I think
Backbone, is it? Oh, that's one I've seen.
Yeah, that's one I've seen as well. I really need that for Android, because right now, like I have an Xbox controller, but it's kind of like dicky to like bring a whole controller with you. I want like just slap it in, that way I can sit in the train and I'll be set. But
you're set, ready to go.
Yeah, it worked. Like the beta worked really well. I replayed Plague Tale Innocence on it, and it was like fantastic. You know, you plug your earbuds in, you're set to go, and it's great. Didn't get to try any multiplayer on it though. Kind of ran out of time.
No, I'm looking forward to it, because I get a lot of downtime at work, so plenty of time for me to.
That'll be perfect for you. I'm just checking emails. What's the controllers for? It's special email controllers for emailing.
I was totally whipping out the Xbox controller at work. It was great.
Nice.
Oh yeah, because there's only three of us in the office late at night, and we're away from customers and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyone we get through is just workers for the airport anyway. So you can literally go, Saturday night you can go 4 hours without seeing anyone else. So it's just a matter of trying to find a way to stay awake. So yeah, I was whipping out the old Xbox controller, and I don't think they had as many games back then. I think they had I can't remember what I was trying back then.
Like there was Destiny.
Destiny. That's what I was trying. Destiny. Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice. It wasn't Plague Tale Replay. It was Senua's Sacrifice on there. I was thinking of Plague Tale. Mainly because I want to play number 2. Because oh my god, it looks. I think was Halo on there. I think that's what
I think Halo. I think I recall Halo being on there as well.
Halo, there was like 5 or 6 games, and Sea of Thieves was there as well. I remember that because they did like a big demo in London, where they had like people go to different spots and play Sea of Thieves from all these historical locations, which was kind of cool. Just to prove that, oh look, this doesn't work. This works off Wi-Fi, which is handy. It actually worked. Did you ever find that it worked better off Wi-Fi and just like on 4G than it did on Wi-Fi? Maybe my Wi-Fi's just butts. I
haven't tried it too much on Wi-Fi, but we've got the pretty. We have. I think the plans are becoming more popular. But we've got the 1 gig plan here where we are. So we're with Aussie Broadband. If we pay
Yeah.
for we pay for the 1 gig download here. I don't know of many other providers that actually have that yet. I don't know of any others that do have the one. It's pretty pricey, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
100 it's 150 a month, but yeah, it's 1 gig download and 50 upload.
That is
And
insane.
I can be. I've literally tested it. I was live streaming, and someone's like, "Hey, we should play some ESO." It's like, "Okay, I'll download it." And yeah, it's 80 gig file, and yeah, I kid you not, it was like 10, 15 minutes. It's just done while streaming, and you know.
Well, I'm barely at the moment because like I'm on fiber to the node, not fiber to the premises.
Oh yeah.
So I'm getting like 85 upload. 85 download at best at the moment, so it's like it's a struggle because I came from the town I was in before I moved to Brisbane. It was one of the towns that beta tested NBN fiber to the premises, so I used to have like 100 gigabyte 100 download 25 upload or something like that, or 40 upload, and it was great. And so I had that throughout everywhere I moved in town. It was great. And I came up here, I'm like, oh, moderately slow internet. I mean, it's fucking first world problems. I'm just like, oh no, it's slightly slower. Fuck, what am I gonna do with my life? I have to plan things. I don't like planning things.
That's not a bad speed though for Node, because I had a workmate that was with he was slightly north of me, like by a suburb, and he was with the same company, same plan, and I was getting obviously the 100 because that was the maximum plan back then, and he was fiber to the node, and he was only getting half that, paying for exactly the same plan. He was averaging 50 up, only 50 up. Because obviously it's like your ADSL, depends how far away you are from the node. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure my node's like just outside my house, so I'm fairly lucky. Like it's pretty close. But yeah, I've had friends that lived out bush, and it was like 3 kilometers away, and they're like their speeds were fucking terrible because the cable was rotted. No one came out and maintained it, and it's just falling apart. And it's like he was like trying to get like 25, 30 up downloads. Like, he poor bastard.
I think the 1 gig's probably overkill. I have thought about downgrading it, but at the same time, it's still nice just to download any file when you want it to. They've got the next plan down there. They've introduced is actually I think it's a 250. So I've contemplated dropping down to that one because that wasn't available. So that's about 120 a month for, I think it's 250 down, which is not too bad.
That's not bad, man. I think if I get a house with better connection, that might be what I go for, because that sounds alright.
Yeah.
Price wise, anyway. I think I'm paying like $80 for wine at the moment. It's okay. Like, it works. It's fine.
There's not much wiggle room in NBN plans still. You can't really get much. And
you can't really custom them. Yeah,
they're all. Doesn't matter who you go with. They're all. I think the only one that's different is Telstra. That's always going to be the case because they're always most expensive. But
worst. I had nothing but issues with Telstra. Yeah, they're like, I think they were like during peak hours. They had a thing in their modems with, you got the Telstra modem when you got the Telstra plan. You had to use that one. There was no other one. They had a thing in the modem where they could slow your speeds during peak hour, during peak traffic. And it was always like, just as I was getting on the game, I'd be constantly cutting out. I'd be like barely getting like 15 download. I was like, what the hell is going on? Paying for like 100 here. What are you doing? I was like, oh, we'll get someone into it. So I spent like 3 months without internet. Like, they just gave me a boosted mobile plan so I could like use my phone as a hotspot, and then they still couldn't solve the problem. And then when I changed providers, like, oh yeah, they put a limiter in your router, and during peak hours they slow it right down. So
speaking of not having internet, when we first moved in here, I think it's about 5-6 years ago, one of the first things I wanted to make sure was that we had NBN. So checked it, did all the research, and it was like beautiful. It was the first thing I organized. I wanted to be plugged in, ready to go, because I was, heavily involved in stream back then.
Absolute priorities. Yep. I still do it. I'm not that heavily involved in stream anymore, man. I'm like, we're moving. It's got to have internet.
So we get in, and we had found out that these guys had been kicked out. So we were taking over. We had issues with the real estate not cleaning their property properly, stuff like that. But the previous tenants had stolen the NBN box. They took it. They took it,
and
they can't
one that was on the wall.
The one on the wall, and they can't do anything with it. They took it, and it was they did. They took other stuff because we're in a duplex as well, so they'd actually cut through the fire rated wall and taken some stuff from my neighbor as well, and the police are involved and stuff like that. But back to the NBN box, so they've taken that. So I've rung NBN. They didn't believe me. I actually had. It took. I think it was about the same as you. I think it was ended up being like 2 months or something. I was having to take photos, send it to them. Having to do all this investigation. They're like, "Well, we normally don't fund another one because we just obviously in their budget it's allowed for one per property." And
Yeah.
they literally said we don't understand why they've taken it because they can't do anything with it. So it took
They
me
probably found that out the hard way.
it took me so I didn't have internet for months for the first couple of months waiting for a new NBN.
That's why though? Like, surely, I mean, maybe they just didn't get it. It's like, yeah, I'll just take this with us. But you think if it's that plugged into the wall, it's like maybe it isn't meant to come out. This is how this works.
I was so gutted. But what do you do? The good news is I've got good internet now, though. So
yeah, that's fucking sorted, beautiful. But I want to know what they did with it. I want to know if they tried to connect it up. They're like, called providers. Yeah, we've got this NBN box here. We've put it in. I wonder if they got found out trying to like reinstall it.
They were pretty dodgy. We had the cops around here every few weeks for the first couple of months, seeing if they still lived here. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, I think they were involved in some dodgy stuff by the sounds of it. So, who knows what ended up happening with them? So, but no, we won't be here much longer. Actually, we are building, so that's why my room's half a mess because I haven't bothered doing much reno work to it. So we're still staying in the same estate we are. We weren't due to be moving into the new place until May next year, is what we were told. But this estate we're in, there's only about a dozen houses left, and they've finally sold them all, and we're one of them. So we were really lucky because, as you probably know, with COVID, the building supplies are pretty scarce at the moment. But they've been told they got told to hurry up and get it all done so they can get out of there. So, but our build wasn't meant to start till about now, and then with an expected completion date of May. But we're already, I think, looks like the roof's going to be up this week, and we've our settlement's been revised to October this year. So I'm already planning the new stream room in my mind.
I was about to ask, like, is there? I mean, your building says it's obviously like a you get a certain layout, you pick your layout kind of home, right? You put it together. Or
it's a house land package, so you don't get to choose much in the variation. We've gone for the biggest house we can get, so we're on a 625 square meter block. The house size is 220. So it's like a 4-bedroom media room plus your media room. So you'll walk in, you got the main bedroom on the left with the ensuite. If further down, media room on the left, garage right, and then the other remaining bedrooms are off the back.
I'm kind of familiar with the setup.
Yeah. So it's the stock standard setup. And yeah, prices have just gone up through the roof because of COVID. Like we were looking to buy over a year ago, and I think back then up this way it was. I remember seeing them for about the 420 to 460, and they were over $500,000 now because of COVID. And we learnt that if you spend $500,000, that doesn't guarantee you aircons. You have to buy a move-in pack to get some aircons thrown in. So it's like $500,000 doesn't get you a couple of aircons. Have to pay for that still. You
get a ceiling fan if you're lucky. You want aircon. That's another 40 grand right there, buddy. Thank you very much. Cough it over.
So looking forward to it. So hopefully, we'll have the mother-in-law living with us. She's help funding a lot of it because she was just coming of age now, where she lived up at Nanango. By herself. So it's just a bit far if something happened to be able to scoot up that way. So they won't just come live with us. So she sold her house and is helping us fund the property of the new property. So she'll live with us. So it's nice coming home to cooked meals now. It's my missus loves it. She's away at the moment. She's gone to visit family while their kids are on school holidays. And my wife's like, "Oh, I miss my mum's cooking already." Because she comes from a Filipino background, so you get
Yep.
you get all that. Yeah, you can imagine the types of food she gets to cook up. So
I come home like because I work weird hours. I'm sure you get this as well. You come home, so all right, what's in the freezer? So my wife will make up like when she does batches of food, she'll like make sure it's kind of freezable, so she can like sit in the freezer or have a takeaway. It's like constantly microwaving food. That's how I live. Like it's really funny because people are, oh,
we're
you're a chef, you
DoorDash.
must like you must get
We're
like
like
you
Uber
must eat. What was that?
Yeah, we're Uber Eats, DoorDash users. Unfortunately, that's where our bills go.
Oh no.
Yeah, we just get so as you know, we just by the time we get home, sometimes it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you just snack it and like well, it's not every night, but we definitely are pretty high up there in the takeaway usage for.
Yeah.
We're definitely regular customers. So it's been nice though. Now that she's been living with us, like we at the takeaway bill just stopped. It was fantastic. Then as soon as she's gone away for a couple of weeks, it's gone back up again.
You gotta make up for lost time, right? I only got some takeout the other night. We kind of get it every once in a while because we're kids, treat them. I can't be bothered cooking every night. And so I went and picked up some KFC for the kids and grabbed a pizza while I was out. And the Combank app has just popped up. It's like, oh, you spent like, here's your transaction. This is what you spent. You've also spent this much on takeaway in the last week. I'm like, thanks for the judgment, man. Fuck you. It's like Combank silently judging me on like how much takeaway I'm eating. It's like Netflix, and it's like, are you still watching? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm still watching Netflix. Yes, it's 3 a.m. I know, and there's 4 episodes going in a row, but I am watching this. Don't judge my binge watching, damn it.
It's becoming a huge market over here. I do feel sorry for the restaurants because I do a bit of food delivery on the side myself, and the food the companies do miss out. The food delivery companies take a sizable chunk out of the portions. Like if you order say $50 worth of McDonald's through Uber Eats, for example, the Uber Eats is probably taking say 20 to 25% of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's normally about 30% or something, isn't it, from what I've heard?
Yeah.
I never had to work with a company that's used Uber Eats, because like I said, I came from a small country town before this, and the place I work at now doesn't do it. It's the only place I've worked since I've moved up to Brisbane. And yeah, so this whole Uber Eats thing is totally new for me. My first experience with it was someone delivering to the wrong address, and I got a bag of lollies. Just like rocked up on my door. Like I heard a knock, I rocked up, opened the door. No one's there. They've gone, there's like an Uber Eats bag on my porch. I'm like, okay. So I open it, there's a bag of lollies. I'm like, this isn't mine. I didn't order this, but I'm taking it anyway. Thank you, kind stranger. I'm sure you'll reorder yours again soon. That was my first Uber Eats experience. Great. Freebies.
It's the smaller ones that suffer. Like we had, I went to a little Indian place, and I picked up the order. He's like, oh, just saying how he's struggling. He's like, oh, why don't they come in to order, or why don't they call me on the phone? And I'm just like, I said, it's just the way society is moving now. Mum and dad don't want to put the 3 kids in the car to go down the road to order their takeout for the night when they can just now conveniently spend that extra $4, $5, $6 to get it delivered to their home now.
Yeah, exactly. We're living in this wild age of convenience where everything is like, oh, we don't even need to leave our house anymore. And I'm waiting for it all, like, because there's always a point in human history, right, where we get to this point where it's like we're all very lazy, we're all very comfortable because we've got all these comforts and then something always goes wrong. It's war or famine. And I mean, COVID hasn't really helped. It's made things worse.
No, COVID's definitely skyrocketed. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's just made it absolutely skyrocket because the age of the internet, we can just order anything from here. It's fine.
I can tell you some crazy stuff I've delivered though. Like
do tell.
So a bag of Mars pods. That was one thing. Just Mars pods. Just one bag of Mars pods. Keep in mind, I'm getting. So here's another one. So, and this is where I don't know how your food delivery companies make their money. So DoorDash excel in delivering quite far. So Uber Eats has a much smaller like delivery range like a radius. Whereas DoorDash will deliver quite far. So as a result, the orders be quite worthy. So I actually beat my record the other day. So I got paid $42 for 30 kilometers. It's a really good order. So you said you were Brisbane, yeah? You know
Yeah.
beach, you know beach where Beachmere is?
No.
You know Beachmere? No? It's out near Bribey kind of way.
Okay, yeah,
Really
right, yeah, out that way, yep.
So it's all highway kilometers, really easy to get to, really quick job. And there's an IGA out that way. I picked up a bottle of Coke and a can of Red Bull and delivered it back to my suburb area for $42. And that was it.
That is brilliant, man.
So DoorDash would have to be losing money on that because it's not $42 worth of stuff. But they got to pay their driver.
How much would that cost? How much would that cost? I mean, it was obviously not $42. So they'd be like, so there's a Coke and a Red Bull. That's like what, $10, $15 maybe. Depending.
Yeah, premium price maybe. Yeah, at the most. And at the most delivery, they've probably paid $6 or something, $7, let's say. Delivery.
Yeah, that's. I wonder how they're making their money though. Like, because I mean, I'm sure they've probably got like deals with like larger companies like McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, all that kind of stuff. They'd have some kind of like, we'll specially deliver you if you give us a certain amount of card. There'd be some business dealings going on there. But
yeah, well, they're starting to
I
tap
never
into.
Really thought about it.
They're starting to tap into Coles as well now. I don't know if you've noticed, not that I might watch much football, but obviously DoorDash were the sponsors of like State of Origin and stuff like that. And I've started even getting Coles orders now, so delivering people's food to them through Coles and stuff by DoorDash now as well. Maybe it's cheaper. Maybe it's cheaper for Coles just to send it through DoorDash than their own drivers.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they used to have like a delivery thing. Like I mean it was a weird though because like I think like I was getting like there was a Coles like 5 minutes down the road from me, but I was getting it from the Coles that was an hour away in another town.
Yeah,
and so they must have a bigger like bulk selection of stuff there, and they do like the delivery for the day. Like you have to order like 2-3 days in advance to get there eventually. I'd always thought it was weird. It was like there was a Coles down the road. Why didn't they have a driver or two for each town? Kind of didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can imagine they'd have some deals with Coles and stuff as well. Because like Coles is big money. Like they own so much. Like aside from like the Coles itself, they own like a lot of the local pubs and stuff are actually like owned by Coles and stuff. But it's interesting. Like it'd be interesting to see where it goes in like the next 5 years, right? Where like maybe they'll buy out DoorDash and then DoorDash will just work with them, or how that'll go, or they'll just remain their own entities. Because I mean, Uber's got like a few things going on. There's like the taxi service, and then Uber Eats. I think they've got like premium services too, right?
Yeah, they're terrible to run under. Like they really try and undercut the driver as much as possible. Like you can get delivery orders and I've had customers like actually that have waited over an hour, and I've actually had them message me saying thank you for accepting the job to pick up. Because what happens is they're trying to. It started out really good, and that used to be my main earner, but they can pay as low as like $5. So like the general rule is you don't want to accept a job that's more kilometers than dollars. It's not going to make you much money. But like Uber might be like, okay, go deliver this job for $10, but drive 15 Ks for me. Whereas DoorDash is that theirs would be, okay, we want you to drive 15 Ks, but we'll pay you $20 or $25. So of course you're going to take the DoorDash order. So
you're obviously going to make a little bit more money. Yeah,
the order that you just ordered through Uber Eats is just going to keep sitting there. So like our local coffee club, I went there. This is one of the many times I've been there because they've been cursing at them. So they had 7 orders they had to remake because they didn't sitting there for over an hour waiting for drivers, and that's just business loss because they're making the orders ready to go for the customer, and I get there and they go, okay, now the order's been sitting there an hour, we have to remake it now. So
that's terrible, man. That's
even parcel deliveries, like the parcel deliveries are even worse. I've refused. I'm on a few Facebook groups for the Uber Eats, and I see some of them. It's like deliver a parcel for $40 from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. It's like, who's going to drive all the way to the Gold Coast?
That's like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one up my way, so it was north. just North Brisbane, so I'm up in North Lakes. They
Yeah.
wanted to pay me $25 to go South Brisbane. It's just like, why? Who's going to do
No,
that?
no way, man. I'd barely go to Chermside for that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're
no
just trying to
way,
get
hell.
something. They're just trying to get something for nothing and abuse the whole contractor side of it. But the other two are really good. Actually, Menulog are even trialing in Melbourne. Apparently, they're trialing actually employees or something.
So
So,
actual employees, it'll be like,
mm,
because at the moment it's just
like a
drivers
guaranteed
getting
income.
commissions, right? It's like a independent contractor
Yeah,
kind of gig.
it's,
Yeah,
it's just So you're running your own gig essentially. So you know, you do your own taxes and claim all your business expenses, that kind of stuff. I make some good coin out of it, to be honest. It's a good little side gig. Wouldn't do it full
yeah.
time, like as a primary income, but as a side income, I've been able
Also,
to do,
yeah.
I've been able to do, depends how much I do it, but I'm averaging around 600-700 a week to my secondary
Right, man.
income. That's just
That's
chipping
not
away at
bad.
it. So yeah, man.
Absolutely
So
well worth.
and when you're trying to do stuff for a brand new house, that's money that all helps.
Oh yeah, man. The when it's like, oh right, we've got a house. Like, there's always a goal, right? You've got that house. It's like, all right, just like
Yeah.
just hustle hard to kind of get that stuff kind of organized and
Or new
get the
games
extra
come out now,
cash.
so it's actually been great. Any new game stuff comes out, it's comes straight out of that now, so I don't even have to, touch the primary income anymore. So
That's good. The pocket money is always handy. I need to find a second gig that pays. It'd be great. I mean,
well, there you
I need
go.
time to do it too, but
don't mind driving, a bit of DoorDash, mate, in your local area.
maybe. I just need to learn the area better, because like, I mean, I moved up here a month before the first COVID lockdown, so I moved up here a little bit earlier. While my wife and kids all moved up, and so I was working for like 2 months, and then we got locked down, and I was like unemployed. I'm like, well, this is great, fantastic. I'm like, yeah, I'll move to Brisbane, big city, lots of opportunity. A month in, the entire place is shut down and nothing's open. I'm like, great. Fine. I was full time, so I was pretty lucky. The only problem was because I'd been employed so short term, I didn't have any holidays. So there's like, we're just gonna let you go and offer your job back when you come back if you still want it, because we don't know how long this is gonna go for. So I spent most of my time in Brisbane lockdown. Haven't really got out a huge amount yet. So hopefully
I do think overall Queensland's gotten away with it pretty lucky. I think we've probably been one of the luckiest states compared to the others.
Having a hard time at the moment. They've had a massive spike in cases. I think they've just extended their fourth lockdown now, I think. So we've got that.
I didn't watch the news there. What are they going to now?
I think last I checked there was like another 24 cases. And yeah, they're just like, we're going, I think it was like they're extending it by another couple of days, the lockdown, or a week or something. I've got friends down there. But yeah, nuts, man. Like, this whole thing, like, now there's like a second strain. It's wild.
Yeah, no, we've done pretty well up here, considering. I mean, we still have to do our masks and stuff like that at the airport. That's never really changed for us. I know the masks is new for some people, but like, I know masks is in at the moment for Queensland, but even once masks go back out, it's still mandated in airports. So
you would too, because I mean, it's an international airport, right? You'd have people coming in from overseas and other states as well.
Yeah, so masks has never stopped. So even though masks got mandated again, what was it, I don't know, a week or so ago, it's always been in for airports. It's never stopped. I'm a little bit lucky. I don't work at the terminals specifically. I don't have to wear it like 100% all the time, just when I'm kind of hovering around the terminals. But all our terminal workers and stuff, like, they've just been having a mask up the whole time.
Yeah, I'm lucky as well, 'cause I don't have to do it in the kitchen. So all the front of house do when it's mandated, but I just have to have one in my pocket, so when I walk out, just like slip it on if I go. It's the same as you. I don't have to wear it all the time, but transport is fun because I can train in, so it's like slap it on, and it's like sunglasses over the top, and it's just fucking
but it must be hard. It must be hard with the glasses. I mean, I struggle enough wearing it with sunglasses.
Oh, these are only for reading, so I only need these like when I'm in front of the computer. So I'm long-sighted. Is it long-sighted? I don't know which one it is. I need them for reading. So I don't need these during the day. So I'm not like a full-time glasses wearer yet. but I only got these like roughly. So I'm lucky there. So it's same with the sunglasses. So I pop them on, just fold up. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I won't look at anything, and I'll ignore my phone because I need my sunglasses on because it's fucking bright outside. Yeah. I mean, my wife wears glasses full time, and she's like, I hate it so much. It's the worst. I complained about it once. She's like, look, you don't wear glasses, deal with it. I'm like, fine.
Actually, I just got my reminder to get my eye test again because the missus works in Specsavers. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't need them. I don't need them tested. I know they're fine.
They're fine. I had the same thing, man. Like, I was fine. My eyes were perfect. I'd had checkups before. My eyes were great. And then it's like one day I just started getting splitting headaches. Like, it was like putting me in bed. I'm like near like migraine level headaches all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And my wife's like, you need to go get your eyes checked. I'm like, no, it's not it. I'm fine. My eyes were fine. I had them checked like a couple of years ago. We're good. And then I kept tapping. She's like, no, I've booked you in. Go get your fucking eyes checked. I'm like, yeah, you need glasses for reading. I'm like, fuck. No, I just feel old all the time. It's great. I love it.
Have you had a chance to see that? I haven't seen it yet, but have you seen Fast 9 yet?
No. All I've seen is the resurgence of fucking
I've seen that.
Family memes.
Why did that start? Do we know? I haven't followed it.
No, they just started popping up my feed everywhere.
Twitter, it's everywhere I go. It says another Vin Diesel meme to do with family.
It's great. What I want to do, right? I want because I mean they always drink Coronas in the Fast and Furious movies, right? It's like the sponsored alcohol of the movie series. I want them to do a team up with Vin Diesel where they come up with like, you know how they have the stronger beers.
Yep.
Instead of like the 12% or whatever, as opposed to the 8%, have one of those and call it family, and then just the slogan's nothing stronger.
That's a good one.
Fucking perfect.
Perfect.
Or family first or something like that. Actually, family first may not, but that might rock a few boats. It could upset a few people, but I'm waiting for it to happen. Like, I mean, there's a lot of celebrities out there now with like their own alcohols. Like, I think Ryan Reynolds has aviation gin. Dwayne Johnson has a tequila. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but I know he has a tequila. So it wouldn't surprise me if Vin Diesel like teamed up with Corona and did something. I think that'd be brilliant. Vinny,
he's going to be in the. He's I don't know if did you ever play ARK? Or you probably heard of it.
Yeah. I've
he's involved in them too, eh?
Yeah, he's like they had like the trailer and he was in it, and I'm like, oh, what is this? Why is Vin Diesel here?
I can't remember his exact role, but he's got a half decent role in whatever he's doing. He's a
main character, man. Like, he's a main character. It's Vin Diesel. He has to be a main character. He doesn't do side characters. But yeah, he's a main character in it. Like, he's like the lead character in this story, which is weird because ARK's never really had like a story. I was talking about this when I kind of first came out. When I first found out about the sequel, I'm like, does that mean they're doing like a more story focused content? Because like most of the stories, kind of like most survival games, it's like you find it throughout lore throughout the game, or like there's little hints to what's happened and you've got to put the pieces together yourself. So are they going to do like a fully focused story?
I hope they go back to their roots. Like, for me, ARK's kind of what started content creation for me. Well, I started playing Overwatch, but it was how kind of like Nightlife Crew started with the community I made, and what drove a lot of my content was ARK. But we started out with back then, to host a server on Xbox, you had to have a spare Xbox. We bought one and I fired it up. And back then, hosting off Xbox was horrible. Like, if it would crash and go down, and if you're at work, then the guys couldn't play until you go back home and rebooted it back up again. But yeah, no, we played it for ages, and that's how we started getting a solid community going. And the guys actually loved it that much, and that's what made me realize that I might have been onto something with the community. They actually funded a second Xbox, so I ended up having obviously the Xbox I played on. The missus had her Xbox. We had an Xbox for media, and I had two Xboxes that were acting as servers the ARK, and they sat
It's
in
just like
the
this server rack of Xboxes, just like line them all up.
and then obviously nitrate, and then finally rentals came about. And that was expensive. But the community all funded it. We were at our peak. We were definitely one of the biggest in the peaks. We had all the maps, and we had PvE and PvE, so PvE and PvP. So I think we had what we were spending. We were spending something like $800 a month in servers. It was all community funded. Like, and it wasn't
Man.
none of this, nothing pay to play. It was just like, if you want to chip in, this is what we can do, and blah blah blah. And people just loved it. We had yeah, it was busy. Like, it was stressful. Like, server hosting stressful. We had ARK. We had servers for Conan Exiles as well when that was on
Yeah.
Xbox as well. But no, like, I'm really looking forward to ARK 2 just because of, how successful ARK I must have been, how much I enjoyed it. Like, I met so many people through ARK 1,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, where you like you said before, that's where you kind of started this whole nightlife crew
yeah.
community, which I thought was really cool, because you guys that went up for about 5 years, right? Because you recently kind of stepped back from that. Was that last year, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I think Nightlife Crew went for about 6-7 years, something like that. So it started out as mainly just a gaming community, and then once ARK started to die off, I transferred it into like a stream team / gaming community. That started out on Mixer, actually. Then obviously once Mixer died, I took it over to Twitch. And by then I wasn't running it by myself. I had a bunch of great content creators that were helping me out, and I had like Miss Cannon helping me out. Katara was helping me out. The Missus was helping me out. I had heaps of people. But yeah, I decided to. I was going to hand it over to Miss Cannon, but they just decided to go and do their own thing in the end. But it was just mainly because towards the end of last year, I was really starting to struggle to find games to enjoy, and I was really busy with work, and I was trying to organize all the stuff to do with the house and stuff like that. So I was just working. So if I wasn't doing the airport, I was out delivering all the people's food and stuff like that. And yes, I just felt like I needed a break, and obviously, when you feel like you need a break from your own content, the team's going to suffer. So I just decided to take a step back, and I've just slowly started to wean myself back into it this year. And I've been
started up a new kind of new team, right?
Yeah, so it's a bit. This one's a little bit more casual. So we because some of us still kept in touch from NLC. We just had a Discord going. We're like, we should just do something. Like, it was just something really casual. Like, because obviously with NLC we were trying to do stuff, and there was requirements and stuff like that. It's like, well, if I'm gonna do it, like, it can't have requirements. I said, because we're all busy, we're all doing stuff. I just like I don't have a schedule. For me, I find a schedule's impossible to keep up with shift work, just because my work changes every week. So like, I haven't streamed this week. I've just been chilling, and I kind of just go with the flow. So yeah, we kicked up Couch Squad. We got a few people from ANZ in there. And we got one or two from the US. And we're actually doing our first podcast this weekend. So we're going to be trialing a podcasting to do with Xbox and more Game Pass type content. And yes, see how that goes.
That'd be cool, man. Yeah, podcasting's fun. It's interesting. Like, I mean, it's a lot of it's surprisingly a large amount of work. Like,
anything video related is a lot of work. Yeah.
Oh, it's yeah. There's so much, man. Like because when I started, I think I started on this podcast about 3 years ago. I just came on as a guest, and like, yeah, just come on. Well, this is when I just moved over to Mixer. We'll talk about Mixer and Wave moved over, blah blah blah. But yeah, cool, no problem. And I haven't left. I'm slowly addicted to it, and here I am, like, years later, still doing the same shit but differently.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's something I've always wanted to get into, and I've, like, how you always have these things. It's like, I want to do this, and you just never do it. And I said to the guys, you know what? I'm actually determined to actually have a crack at it and give it a go. And I've stuck true to it, even though, like, say, how busy I am. It's like, and all this week, I've been trying to get stuff sorted for it and prep it ready to go. And
yeah, the startup
see how it rolls on Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
it.
decided yet how often we're gonna do it. It's obviously I mean, obviously, I don't. We've got Whippy, Damo, and Epic Treasure on the podcast this week. I mean, it's up to them whether they want to be permanent or not on there. But I mean, I can always run it myself and have guests and stuff like that. But I guess I've just got to find a balance between life and how often I can, I guess, run it. Whether it's going to be like a weekly, fortnightly, or monthly thing, I'm not even sure yet, to be honest.
Yeah, it's this one's fluctuated a bit. It started out as fortnightly, and then I went to weekly, then back to fortnightly. We kind of depended, and now that I'm here by myself, because I used to have co-hosts, but they've all kind of life got in the way, and they didn't have the time to commit anymore. I've somehow managed weekly for the most part, which is I don't know.
I think weekly would be alright. Like because I've been trying to listen to a few. Like I, I could probably sit there and listen to something for an hour, but like I was checking it. I just typed in Xbox podcast the other day, for instance. Some of these podcasts went for like 3 hours, and I'm like, I just don't know if I could sit there for like 3 hours. Like that, for me, because I'm not the podcast expert, that for me seems like a really long podcast to.
It is.
Get someone to listen to.
You'd be surprised
probably.
how often it happens. Like I had like I think like when we were covering like similar kind of thing where we did like we still have the deals now, but we used to do like deals, we used to do gaming news discussions, kind of impressions on games, all that kind of stuff. And so when like E3 came around or the Game Awards came around, is like, all right, we're gonna go through all this shit, and it's like 3 hour worth of podcast. So, okay, right, let's not do that again for a while. I think my record for a guest is 2.5 hours. That was
wow.
It was Steve, and we were just shooting the shit about life and stuff in general. Like he's
And you look at the clock later and went, oh wow, that was 2.5 hours. That's just
yeah, that was it, man. It's there it goes. It's like you'd be surprised how quick a conversation can take off, and you don't realize what the time is afterwards. And he's like, oh, that was 3 hours. Fuck, I guess I'll have fun editing that. Listen through it all, make sure none of it's broken. Yeah.
See, I guess it's just gonna be fun. It's just gonna be finding the balance, I guess. I'm in my head. I'm thinking fortnightly, and that might hopefully flow well with how often Game Pass are punching out their content as well. Like I already know the first one's gonna be huge because we want to try and I guess catch up, so to speak, with it. We've got it like we obviously want to go over what's happened in June. Like June for Game Pass was just huge, as you know. Like
yeah,
it was just
massive.
It's just massive. So, and then we want to try and touch base on some of the things that's going in July. So there's an easy hour off, not more, just there. Anyway,
yeah,
you just can't go through it all, but hopefully if you do it like fortnightly or something like that, give us a chance to.
Yeah, the trick is always kind of having something there, because I mean there are weeks where things are slow. And so, right, you're gonna pull a topic out of your ass from somewhere. So, all right, we'll figure it out from here. I've always found too. This is another problem a friend of mine just had today or this week with their podcast, and they do like the gaming news stuff, and as they finished recording their podcast, the news cycle the next day kicked in, and there was like the Nintendo Switch, the new Nintendo Switch, a whole heap of stuff related to that. I was like, why do you do this to us? I had the same thing with the Xbox Series X release. I was recording the podcast that day, and so I had my run sheet organized. I was all set to go, and then it was like, Series X has been leaked. Series X has been announced. It's like throughout the day, every 3 hours, oh god, I've got to update. Oh god, I've got to update. It was this whole day of just updating the run sheet.
When anything news related content wise, like to get it out there, you've got to be like on the ball and be one of the first on it, so to speak, to be able to for people to find it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a tricky beast. It's not something I can do alone, which is why I've moved to this interview style. Because I mean, I can sit here and read the news, but it's nowhere near as interesting as getting to know people. It's a whole different thing, but it's fun, man. I enjoy it. I think you will as well. If you've got some good people that you've known for a while that you really gel with, it can really flow really well. Fun fact, I've now had half of your podcast and my podcast, because we had Whippy on a while back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wait, I think it is. Am I thinking of the same Whippy that you had, the Whippy XD?
Whippy XD, yeah.
Yeah. He was
Oh,
on
there you
the
go.
cast. It was one of like my earlier guests when I started. This is back when I had a partner doing this.
He's really excited for the podcast. He's like, I mean, the other guys are too, but he's really busy at the moment as well, and that's half the reason why that squad is what it is. It's just, it's just I want to be careful what I say. It's just respecting everyone's busy. That's not that other teams aren't doing that, but it's just it is
That's
a very
allowing
relaxed
for people to have a life.
Yeah, it's just we don't have any requirements or anything like that. We're just it's just a place to hang out, really. It is what it is. We're not we're not out there to try and take over any other teams or become some famous team. We're just people chilling on a couch.
Vibing, man. Fucking vibing. I love it. Should we talk about some deals and fribbers? Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, so over on the PlayStation this week, new week for PlayStation, new month for PlayStation Plus. So we get some fresh ones in here. We have WWE Battlegrounds and Call of Duty Black Ops 4, PlayStation Plus. I haven't played Battlegrounds. Black Ops 4 was okay-ish.
Yeah. I can't get into Call of Duty. Even then, I'm gonna try the next Battlefield that comes out, but Call of Duty,
I've always preferred Battlefield to Call of Duty personally. I like the large scale amounts of chaos. Like the tight PvP is kind of like, okay, cool, but yeah, the big maps with like the vehicles and the planes and tanks and just like you feel like something larger. And like you can have a bit more fun because you know what you're doing doesn't have as much of an impact on if you win or not. So you can just dick around it.
Yeah, so not a huge fan of the. I just feel like it's a money waster for me. Like I spend the $80 on it and play it for 4 weeks, and then it just sits on the shelf and never touch it again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can buy these maps. Nah, I'm good, Activision. Thanks, bye. Our freebie on PS5 this week, and this is probably why I had this in my head earlier, is A Plague Tale: Innocence, which is
yep.
Game. It was my game of the year. The year it came out, whenever that was, the year before last. Fantastic game, brilliant single player story. Really cool themes behind it too. And they have the second one coming out, which is going to be fucking awesome. As long as you're not squeamish, there's a lot of like rats eating pig carcasses and horses and people, so it gets a bit icky, but if you can stomach it, it's pretty good. I quite liked it. PlayStation deals this week. Our deal is Doom Eternal, the deluxe edition, for $47.83, which is 67% off.
I must confess I've never played any of the Doom games, unfortunately.
Like they're on I mean, I know we're talking about PlayStation at the moment, but they're on Game Pass, and you should definitely play Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal because they are some of the best first-person shooters you will play. They are so smooth and buttery. I mean, I know you like your PvP stuff, but they're only around 20 hours long. They're not like super long campaigns, but
that's right.
You should definitely I would highly recommend playing those two. I mean, the OG Doom you could play as well, but it's just old school first person.
Yeah. They've also got deals. I don't know if it counts as your deals. There, I've seen this kind of trending, so to speak, on today's. Yeah, that Xbox One Access. Is it Xbox One Access? Yeah, it's Xbox All Access. Sorry, have you seen that one?
Is that? Yeah, was that the thing that came out today?
Yeah, I don't think it's. To my knowledge, it's nothing new. I think they've just done they've done that song. I'm in between.
Yeah, no, I think that's you pay off an Xbox.
Yeah, you pay it. You pay it off. It's not games, because I think Telstra do it over here in Australia.
It was Telstra last time. They did it with Telstra for a while, and it was really unbalanced with the way it was paid. But like the way this looks, it's directly through Microsoft, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I
haven't had a huge amount of time to research it.
It doesn't seem like it doesn't. I've just got the link up. Because I had it up earlier. It doesn't seem, if this is in USD, I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure on either.
It's
But it worked
$25
out.
a month. It's $25 a month for 24 months, but that includes your Game Pass as well, which is
Yeah, because
and
I think it
what Game
worked out
Pass is
to
about
like
15.
for the 24 months, it was like $600, and I kind of figured it because it was from the original Xbox Twitter page. I was like, I'll work it out in USD, which worked out to be, I think it's $100 more than the US price for the Xbox, which isn't bad considering you also get 24 months of Game Pass with that as well, which would be couple hundred bucks roughly. So it's a pretty good
It's
deal.
definitely interesting
Like,
because I think it's just also a more of a sign too that subscription models are just so popular and how marketing is trying to push us towards more subscription type models. So like we were looking like we were just going through our budget the other day, and we were just amazed actually. Like I don't know I don't know how many subscriptions you sign up to, but like we were actually surprised how many we're actually signed up to because you might not always think about it. Go, yeah, a binge. We'll just sign up to binge because you want to watch this show, and then you got your binge, and we got Netflix, and we got Disney, and then I think I got Game Pass.
I try and so Game Pass is separate for me. That's a whole. That's like my thing. That's like my pocket money. That's fine.
Yeah.
And my kids use it as well, so I have like a home Xbox, and that kind of covers all of us. And then as far as like subscriptions to like the movie stuff, we only allow ourselves no more than 3. So like if we're not watching one, we'll drop it for however long, and then just keep the other 2 or switch to another one. Depending on series that are coming out. Like I've got Disney, I think Disney Plus, Netflix, and Stan at the moment.
Yeah,
I picked up Amazon.
I just cut YouTube.
I picked up Amazon just for Invincible.
Yep.
So good. Have you watched that yet?
Which one was that one? Sorry, you just cut out there.
Invincible?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh man, it is like it's like the DC animation stuff, like that kind of style, but it is just gory as hell. It's so good. It's based off a comic. But yeah, it's like R18, and it's just like the first, like the second half of the first episode is just people getting their heads ripped off and shit. It's amazing. It's
I've been trying to keep up with this. I've been trying to keep up with all the Star Wars stuff. So I've been Bad Batch. I've been watching that. The Loki series. That's on what else? Was something else I've been watching? I can't remember what it was. They're the main. Is there something else? I can't remember. But they're the main 2. Have you been finding Loki? Have you been keeping up with that one?
I have.
Superman was the other one. That was on Superman's on binge. Superman and Lois, if you're into that.
I'm kind of off the CW stuff at the moment. They seem to ruin it after about season 2 of every show. So it's like, yeah.
Have you given Superman and Lois a go?
No, not yet. I've heard okay things about it.
I actually don't mind it. Like I don't know how much of the CW stuff you've watched. Like I did enjoy Arrow. I watched all of that. Flash, I didn't mind. I haven't caught up with Flash. What I didn't like about Flash was he always whinged every episode. It was like,
you know what I didn't like about Flash?
It was like
Iris did my head in. Like the first 2 seasons were really good, and then it was like Iris just got like, I mean, it's fine, it's part of his life, but it just like it became less about the superhero stuff and more about like the teen drama romance stuff. I'm like, it's not what I want. And like Arrow thing, I watched Arrow up until like second last season. I think there was like Legends of Tomorrow. I used to be into all of it, and I just kind of like,
I didn't like Legends of Tomorrow. That was just too boring for me. I
loved Legends. I didn't like Supergirl.
Oh, you actually like?
I liked Legends.
No, Supergirl. No, I tried a season Supergirl. Supergirl and Legends are the ones I'm not up to speed with. It was I did really enjoy Arrow. I mean, Arrow had its weak points in it for sure, but I definitely
dropped off. Dropped off after a few seasons, but you get that too. Like they're not always going to be strong seasons.
I thought they've done really good with Superman and Lois. I actually I was about 4 episodes behind, so I actually caught up the other day. I just been watched like 4 episodes of it. Catch back up.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a peep because I mean I do like Superman kind of. I have this weird. I've always loved him as a kid, but I also hate him because there's too much of a Boy Scout. So
and Batwoman, I haven't touched Batwoman. I don't know if that's even going to be worth it. They've already changed the actor after.
I didn't like what they've done with that. They've like changed the actor and stuff because I was kind of interested in it, and they're like, oh, we're just switching out the actor with no explanation. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not cool. Bye. I'm not suddenly not interested because I saw the character come through with like the crossover episodes. Like, okay, this is interesting. This would be fun. I'd like to see where this goes. And like, yeah, we're changing the actor, and there's no canonical reason why the person's changed. It's still going to be the same person. I'm like, okay, no, it shows you clearly don't care that much about the story. So I'm out. Fucking bye.
Yeah. Actually, definitely deals well, because I know it's a limited time. For those that have Game Pass, they should go into their perks and grab Space Jam. Did you try Space Jam out? Because it's not a down. It's, yeah, Space Jam the game. It's not. You have to go into your perks as for Game Pass.
Okay,
it's not available to everyone.
It's
not. It's not available to everyone yet. I think it's available to everyone on the 15th. I don't know how much it'll be. Yeah, it's available for a short time for Game Pass members as a perk. It's not. It won't be actually in the game's library. You go into your. I actually didn't look. I didn't actually know perks was. I actually hadn't looked into perks. There's actually quite a lot of different Game Pass perks. Have you ever looked through your perks?
I mean, I know there's like the Disney. There was like a Disney Plus subscription, and
yeah, it's got stuff in there. So yeah,
things.
Space Jam's. That's not bad. A little arcade game.
Space Jam game. Fuck yeah, let's go. Sweet. Well, while we're on the subject of Xbox, let's get into what's over there this week since we're already here. Did I miss anything on PSN? No, we're good. So Game Pass pick of this week is coming out tomorrow, or by the time I get this recorded and edited, it'll be out as you're listening to this, hopefully. Tropico 6, which is cool. Dictator sim game, always a fun time. I've heard really good things about it. Now you just basically control an island and dictate a nation, which would be a blast. Over on Games with Gold, we have Planet Alpha, which I know nothing about. There wasn't a huge amount of detail there. And Shadows Awakening, which was here last month. So if you've been listening for the last few weeks, it's single player RPG. It's asymmetric. Seemed interesting. I haven't actually picked it up. I don't know if I will. It didn't really pique my interest that much, but it's there if you want it still. I think it'll change next week, so if you wanted to get it, now's your last time. And
what I'm looking forward to is The Ascent. That's probably my month that I'm looking forward to.
The Ascent.
Game Pass.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's out soonish. Yeah.
Couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to Lemnis Theory. I think that's like in 3 weeks from now.
Nice.
Cool. First person like strategy game. It's mixing first person shooting with strategy. It's fucking.
Come on, you can be honest, mate. What you're really looking forward to is Farming Simulator 19 coming out July 15. Riding around in your tractor. Come on.
Look, this podcast has a very storied history with Farming Simulator. We've applied to be in leagues. So far unsuccessful. Yeah, it's Farming Sim, man. Best game out. I love it. This is clearly sarcasm, by the way. I don't know. It's weird, that one. I understand why people enjoy it, but it's definitely not for me at all. Our other Games with Gold this week is Conkers Live and Reloaded. So if you want that crispy like original Xbox game nostalgia hit, Conkers is one hell of a game, and it's fucking hilarious. I remember playing it as a kid, and I was at a mate's place, and it was just like we're all just swearing at shit. I'm like, this is the best. I'm all about this guy now. He was my spirit animal for a very long time.
I can't say I've heard of that one.
Oh, you haven't heard of Conker's Bad Fur Day?
No,
I'm mate, it's so good. Yeah. It's so good. Like you go, it's just it was one of those games that had like the very kind of like Spyro-esque graphics, but it was a alcoholic swearing squirrel, and it's fucking great, man. It's yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't played it before. I mean, it's an older shit game, but I reckon the humor would still be pretty funny in it.
I think you got to be a bit understanding when it's got the original OG Xbox logo attached to it.
Exactly. Like that logo now is nostalgia hit. That's all that means now. Deals with Gold this week. I pulled in a bit of a weird one. Yeah, there is. The one selected this week is Kill It With Fire for 13.47, which is you just deal with spiders in your house by burning down your house. That's it. that's the game. There's spiders in your house. You have to destroy them by burning everything down with fire. I'm cool with it, you know.
Yeah, easy.
Easy. Over on the Switch this week, oh man, I've done a bad thing. I've forgotten the price on the Switch game. So let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. I got it. Is Out of Line, which is a 2D hand-drawn platformer for, wait for it, where is it? For $11.69. Nice. So you know, if you're looking forward to your brand new OLED Switch.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on it?
They mentioned nothing about the Joy-Cons. I don't like Nintendo.
Yeah, I did have a Switch and I ended up selling it because I just wasn't using it. It was a bit of an impulse buy. It was an impulse buy for Animal Crossing, and then I just didn't play it anymore.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. I bought it for Pokemon and Animal Crossing. The new Pokemon game was total ass, and my wife got addicted to Animal Crossing for about 8 months. Haven't played much of it since, but she still plays occasionally. So yeah, it's now the Animal Crossing thing. But yeah, they haven't fixed or mentioned that they're fixing the Joy-Con drift, which is a massive issue because they're really hard to replace. It's a fundamental part of the hardware. It's not like you can go, just go get new joysticks. It's like, you know, they're $100 each. You know, it's not exactly an expensive cheap replacement. And they mentioned none of that. It's like, oh, you know, they've got a cool stand and OLED fucking technology now. I'm like, cool. When are you fixing the Joy-Cons? Because they're fucked. And I guarantee you, like, mark my word, in 12 months after release, we'll be seeing issues with the Joy-Cons again on the new controller. So I would have loved to see something that said, you know, refurbished or, you know, redone joysticks, just so that people knew that, you know, the system they're buying isn't just like slightly more powerful. The whole thing has been upgraded as a whole, because it's Nintendo. They're going to sell this at a premium price.
Of course they are. Anything Nintendo always is.
You'll have to pay full price for like some of the first games that were out on that on the Switch, like Mario Party 8 and stuff. They're still full price, and the Switch has been out for years now. So okay, Nintendo, just settle down. Like, we're not giving you all the money all the time. We know everyone thinks you're adorable, but just
how do you think that? I mean, obviously Nintendo's always going to have their fans, but how do you think that's going to? How do you think they're going to do once, you know, cloud gaming starts getting pretty serious? Because I now that once I can start playing my stuff on the phone with Xbox, I don't. I mean, again, I'm not. You're always going to have your Nintendo fans and those that love their Nintendo specific games. You know.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to go once cloud gaming really starts to ramp up?
But Nintendo are weird, right? They've always just like done their own thing. They're like they're like the kid in class. It's like off with the fairies constantly, right? It's like you ask them a question, they start talking about unicorns. They made controllers out of fucking cardboard and sold them to people. So I think Nintendo aren't really gonna care. They've got really strong. I want to say strong first party, not strong because they haven't done much to innovate on any of the series recently. But they have really well known and well loved first party properties, like, you know, Mario, all that kind of stuff, Zelda, and I think they'll just keep banking on that for a while. I mean, when was the last time we saw something like genuinely new software wise from Nintendo? It's always been like Mario
even the
Party
latest
8
Mario.
or...
It wasn't the latest Mario Kart game not that great from what I'm seeing. I don't play it.
It was just another Mario Kart game. Fine, but there's no innovation in their software at the moment. Like, you know, they did.
Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Mario. Wasn't Mario Kart? It was Mario. Was it Mario Golf? Sorry, was it Mario Golf that just came out or something?
Oh yeah, I think they might have announced that just like recently, or it released like last week or something.
I've seen a few tweets that wasn't that great or something either. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. Yeah. I haven't even seen anything that great from Nintendo, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that they're still kind of clutching onto that past. Like, they've done some weird stuff with like the Labo controllers, and they do some interesting stuff there. But like, there's nothing that's, and the Fit Ring, whatever the fuck that is. Like, they do some weird like hardware stuff, but the software hasn't really changed much since like 90s. It's all like very much the same kind of gear. I mean, they're reselling the same versions of Pokemon that released like 15 years ago. So it's like slightly upgraded. Yeah, hype.
People still buy them though. That's the thing, because they're just fans of them. My missus is my wife's Switch hasn't been switched on in months, but if a new Pokemon game comes out, I can promise you she'll still go buy it and probably play it for a day and then put it down. That's it.
What annoys me the most about the Pokemon games is the two versions they always release, right? There's like the two different colors, and the difference is like 3 Pokemon. And that's it. There's no like vast difference. It's like it's the same game, the same story. You can just access to like 3 different Pokemon. Like, so Nintendo, you're asking me to pay for a game twice at like $100, mind you. Pokemon a different boss fight at one point, like no, like let's go Eevee and Pikachu. It was just a different starter Pokemon. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I think what was the one before that where they did like the open world thing? You go catch Pokemon in. Was that Sword and Shield?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the difference between that was one person you fight and like 4 or 5 Pokemon. It's like, okay, why? Yeah. And people will buy both because, you know, they love Pokemon, they love Nintendo. They have those hot properties, and that's what Nintendo's relying on at the moment. I just don't know how much longer how long for a lot more people that the shine's gonna kind of that Nintendo sheen is gonna come off, and they're like, oh, this is like, people realize this is just the same game from like 3 years ago, and they're just making me pay full price. There's no innovation, so we'll see what happens. But
we'll see what happens there. That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo shied away from third party, like first party properties, and just focused on weird hardware and stuff, and just like leased out like Mario and Zelda and all that kind of stuff to other people and made money that way. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go. Maybe they'll just ditch the hardware entirely and just sell software and accessibility gear. Who knows?
Yeah, I have to wait and see, I guess.
Our final freebie this is over on the Epic Store, as it always is. We always leave Epic till last. I don't know why. The way it is. And the game this week is Spectrum Retreat, which is a first-person puzzle game. You go through exploring a hotel, and there's like color-coded physics puzzle games, which seemed interesting. Graphic style looks kind of nice. It's got all of that paper polygon kind of vibe to it. That's all I got. It looks pretty cool though. If you're over there and you like your first person puzzle games, and a lot of people do, I find them tedious.
I get too frustrated with them, I think.
Yeah.
I hate puzzle games. I hate puzzle games and games.
Yeah. Puzzle's the worst, man. If I can't brute force it, I don't want to know nothing about it. Hey, it's like, nah. If I can't, there's no finesse. It's just going straight at this or nothing. But that's all we got this week, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, thank you for coming along and shooting the shit. It's been fun.
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks very much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time. So for those who are looking to find you on various places, where can people find you?
Content wise, we are chilling over on YouTube, so youtube.com/Mr Nightlife, and mainly Twitter, so twitter.com/Mr Nightlife. They're probably my 2 main platforms I really try and stick to. Yeah, I'm trying to. Have you played around with the shorts much? I'm trying to play around with the YouTube shorts.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have the content for them. Like I tried. I was like, I obviously upload like podcast clips and stuff. I had a little poke with them with that, and there's a lot of potential there, providing you have the right content for it. Like, I mean, there's the whole TikTok drive at the moment, right? So it's very suited to that style of content. So, you know, you're looking at your short, funny, fast clips to kind of hold people's attention, because I found like you look at like the stats and stuff, and so all right, so people watch this for 7 seconds or 8 seconds or 12 seconds before they dropped off and stopped watching. So you get that through YouTube. So okay, so you understand like where you need to be grabbing people's attention and all that kind of stuff. And like the stuff I do doesn't really work for that, but I can see some potential there with if you like, you know, especially game related stuff.
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting. You haven't played with it much yet, have you?
I've done a few. It's just all trial and error. So from what other people have told me and what my own research, it seems like YouTube takes about 3 days to pick them up. So like I've had my best performer was one that it was a Valorant clip that hit, and it was just space of a few hours. It just skyrocketed and hit like it was like 3,500 views. Started getting, it wasn't even the views. It started getting quite a lot of comments and likes, that kind of stuff, and I was replying to them all. My average seems to be kind of around the 6 to 1,000 on the shorts.
Yeah.
But then I tried a bit of a different one this week where I tried because obviously I did some content on the Space Jam game, so I did a short video on that one. But then I did an actual short of it to try and bring people over to the video, and that YouTube didn't pick it up. Just, who knows?
Yeah,
you can do all this.
Figure out YouTube, that'd be great, and just like let me
do all
know
the same
because
stuff.
fuck. Yeah.
So it's just trial and it's YouTube's trial and error game, you know.
Yeah, there's no guarantees. Like, all right, you do this. It's like here's like you go watch videos and they tell you 10 different things, but every other video tells you 10 other separate things you're gonna do. And like, so which one's right? Because I don't know. I'm just it's fine. It's a ride. It's unpredictable beast because I think it covers so many different variations of content too. Yeah, it can get a bit crazy.
No, YouTube is the place to for now find me. I think that's all it'll be for the foreseeable future.
I'd like to get in touch with the podcast. You can find us over on Twitter at @left_pod. You can also find us now on Instagram at 2LeftThumbsPodcast. We are also over on YouTube where the video version of this will be uploaded at the same time as the audio version because I've got my shit in order now and I can do it. It's magic.
Well done, well done.
Thank you. You can find us over there. We don't have a custom URL yet, so we made our own. You can find us at 2leftthumbs.online. That'll take you straight to our channel. You can find the video version of this uploaded there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out, listening. Mr Nightlife again. Thanks for coming on and keeping me company this week.
Always, mate, always.
I'll talk to you next time, fam. Bye.
See you later.